Today, presidential frontrunners still in the lead after Super Saturday. The Republican race is down to 3, maybe 2 legitimate contenders, and the Democratic establishment has spoken. Hillary gets closer to the White House. Super Saturday election results, analysis from local experts, and looking ahead to the North Carolina primaries. This is your Decision 2016 edition of the Western Carolina Journalist Weekly Update. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton challenged on Super Saturday. Thanks for joining us on this special edition. I'm Bradley Lucor. And now we've got your Super Saturday election results. In Kansas, Ted Cruz swept with 48% of the vote, Donald Trump shortly behind. And Kentucky, Donald Trump 35.9% over Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz and Donald Trump flip-flop back and forth throughout Saturday. In Maine, Ted Cruz took it over Donald Trump, and John Kasich is there with 12% of the vote. And in Louisiana, Donald Trump took Ted Cruz in Louisiana. Puerto Rico on Sunday, Marco Rubio took all of the delegates in that race. And on the Democratic side in Kansas, Bernie Sanders took 67% of the caucuses there. Louisiana, Hillary struck back with 71.1% of the vote, huge margin. And in Nebraska, Bernie Sanders took it back in 57.1% of the vote. The delegate totals for the Democratic candidates: Hillary is well on her way to reaching the special 2,383 delegates needed to win. And on the Republican side, we've got Donald Trump in the lead, but Ted Cruz is shortly behind, and Marco Rubio is still pulling a lot of those votes as well. So we're not sure if any of them are going to reach the 1,237 delegate threshold, which leads experts to believe the Republicans may head into a brokered convention. Take a look.
Donald Trump is on a roll.
CNN projects Donald Trump will win Georgia, win the Alabama Republican presidential primary, and will carry Massachusetts, Tennessee, and Arkansas. Donald Trump wins the Louisiana Republican primary. Will win Kentucky.
He secured a plurality of the delegates needed for the nomination, but there's a chance it will result in a
brokered convention.
The brokered convention.
Brokered convention.
Brokered convention.
I think the best way to beat Donald Trump is going to be to hope for a brokered convention. Which means if Trump does not get at least half of the delegates, pledged delegates going into the convention after the first round of voting, then the pledged delegates are released from their pledges and they can essentially vote for whoever they want to.
If you want to beat Donald Trump, here's how you do it. You beat Donald Trump with the voters.
Ted Cruz is closest to catching Trump. With Rubio and Kasich still in the race, experts believe they are pulling votes away from Cruz needed to topple Trump.
If he doesn't have a majority, then I think all bets are off, and we could see one of these trying to negotiate different things like we used to do in the conventions, 40, 50, 60 years ago.
I believe that we'll have a nominee at the convention. But if, for example, though, you don't,
you're perfectly okay with that?
We're going to support whoever the nominee is, and we're going to have a party that's better than it's ever been before.
All right.
Despite the RNC chairman's beliefs, a brokered convention may not be a bad thing for the candidates.
And so I think that's the best hope for Rubio. I think it's the best hope for Cruz, and it's the best hope for Kasich to whatever degree there is a hope.
For the Western Carolina Journalist, I'm Alexandra McQueen reporting.
Brokered conventions are rare for both parties. The last brokered convention was the Democratic one in 1952, when it took 3 ballots to nominate Illinois Governor Adlai Stevenson. And the last GOP brokered convention happened in 1948, when New York Governor Thomas Dewey won the nomination after 3 ballots as well. And you can get all of your live, up-to-date election coverage by following the Western Carolina Journalist on Twitter and liking WCJ on Facebook. The North Carolina primary elections are coming up on March 15th. North Carolina is considered a swing state, according to Dr. Chris Cooper, the department head of political science at WCU. In the 2008 election, North Carolina as a whole voted for Democrat Barack Obama, and in 2012 it voted for Republican Mitt Romney. Experts are unsure which way North Carolina will vote this year, but they agree that voter turnout will be higher than usual. Politicians and university administrators are pushing students to vote in the primaries this year. Also on the ballot is a $2 billion state bond referendum that could benefit WCU with $110 million for a new natural sciences building. And today the Republicans are caucusing in Hawaii and holding a primary election in Idaho. Democratic and Republican primaries are taking place in Michigan and Mississippi as well, with 339 total delegates up for grabs. And make sure you follow the Western Carolina Journalist on Twitter at the WC Journalist for your live election results. And that's all the time we have for this special Decision 2016 Western Carolina Journalist Weekly Update. I'm Bradley Lucor.